Today, I will be reviewing Metallica's debut album, Kill 'Em All. Arriving on the scene in 1983, I believe that this was an album that nobody was ready for, with explosive drums, super fast speedy metal guitar riffs, a wall of sound of bass, and super high screaming vocals from James Hetfield. I think everybody at the time was in for a treat, whether you listen to metal, rock, punk, or any other genre. I think you would have been blown away at the time, and there are certainly people still being blown away now by the album. So, let's get into it. My thoughts on the production are a little bit of a grey area, because you can look at it from two different perspectives. You can either look at it from the perspective of a modern listener who is putting it up against albums from any era, from 90s, 2000s, 2010s, the 1970s, that like no correlation at all. Or you can look at it from the perspective of being in 1983 and hearing this album for the first time and never expecting thrash metal. So those are two completely different conversations. If you were to look at it from the perspective of a modern listener and just comparing it to any album, I would say the production probably isn't that incredible. The drums, while the playing itself is very proficient, the production and the way they mixed and mastered it probably was a little bit rounded, and the drums kind of were a bit muddy in some areas. The guitar tone was pretty good. It shone through very well, and you could hear it clearly, even with the harmonies and such. The bass was very distorted, and you could hear it in some areas, but in a lot of areas it also just dipped out and you didn't really hear it all that much. The vocals are a little bit on the wet side in terms of reverb, and this caused a couple of the lyrics to not really be heard all that well. Even if you put them through very, very good speakers, or you listen to the album on vinyl, it still sort of had that problem. However, if you listen to it from the perspective of a 1983 listener and you heard this album for the first time, it would have been, skull-crushing. Because nothing really sounded like this at the time, maybe with the exception of Motorhead or Iron Maiden. There really wasn't a lot of artists at the time putting out such heavy music. Maybe Queen or Black Sabbath, even Led Zeppelin to some extent, were putting out some pretty heavy songs or even whole albums. You still would have been blown away by this album just because you hadn't really expected thrash metal all that much, considering it was a very new thing at the time. So that is another way you can look at it. But I personally look at it from the modern perspective because I was not born in the 1980s. I was born right in the dawn of the 2000s. So I can't really, it's hard for me to put myself in their shoes because I had the luxury of hearing every Metallica album right up to Death Magnetic, sort of when I was growing up, and then just recently Hardwired. So that's what I think. The artwork. I really like the artwork. It's almost awkward in a way, like kind of like how like the hand isn't totally holding the hammer that's like on the blood. But as a whole, it's just really cool. It just looks like the birth of an incredible metal band, which is what it was, so that's why it was so fitting. I think it's an awesome album cover, and I think it's a great one to look at. I love the red and everything. Great album cover. Now, let's cut to the chase and go through each song of the album. Track number 1, Hit the Lights. I believe every aspect of this song is quite explosive, and I think it was a perfect way to open the album, fading in with just solos really just from everybody, or just drum rolls, what have you. Eventually progressing into the song, and lyrics were very, very pushy, and it was great. Great screams from James Hetfield, incredible licks from Kirk after each verse, great drum fills, and the bass just sat right in the pocket, perfectly supplementing every instrument in the song. So, Hit the Lights, awesome. Track number 2, The Four Horsemen. I believe the song was a bit more diverse, and I really, really love the shuffle rhythm throughout. I love the interlude where it's sort of like a little nod to Sweet Home Alabama, and I just thought that was all really cool. It's a real shame they don't play that part live. They kind of just skip straight back into the third verse. I think the song's amazing. I love how it goes halftime in the chorus, as a nice contrast to the verse, which is very, very, very quick. So I also love the Four Horsemen. Track number 3, Motor Breath. I'm a little bit indifferent to this one, mostly just for the reason being that it sounds quite similar to Hit the Lights in terms of its rhythm and the vocals. I don't really feel much for this one. It's a great song, but it doesn't really jump out to me like the two previous tracks, Four Horsemen and Hit the Lights. So whenever I listen to Kill 'Em All, I kind of just, I either skip it or I just sort of tune out when I'm hearing this one. That's just my personal opinion on it. Number 4, Jump in the Fire. I actually like this one a little bit more than Motor Breath. Just was it again a bit more diverse, like the Four Horsemen. Had a really nice groove and sounds a bit weird, but it almost reminds me of 50s music for some reason. Like, you know, like people will probably think I'm weird for thinking that, but that's just how I feel when I hear the song. I really like Jump in the Fire. I think it's really catchy, and it's a shame they don't play it live more, because I think pretty much everybody loves this song. So yeah, I love Jump in the Fire. Track number 5, Anesthesia, Pulling Teeth. Metallica's first ever instrumental featuring Cliff Burton, rest in peace. I think this song is really awesome. It really showcases just how much of a prodigy and a master Cliff Burton was at his instrument. Eventually progressing in the song, Lars Ulrich comes in, just with really just pounding drums against a more just supplement Cliff's playing. And I personally love this instrumental very much, and it's a very, very nice way to sort of contrast the other songs in terms of its dynamic, the way it was written, and the fact that it has no vocals. Nothing wrong with James Hetfield, it's nice to have some change and variety. So, also, again, awesome. Track number 6, Whiplash. I love this song. It is the pinnacle of 80s thrash metal, and it's just so awesome to hear every single time. A lot of people have covered this song, a lot of famous bands. Pantera did it, Motorhead did it, which is incredible. Imagine your favorite band covering your song. That would have been an incredible feeling for Metallica. The song is awesome all the way through. It's so explosive. The vocals are just so incredible. The way the rhythm of the vocals interacts with the rhythm of the drums and the guitar, I absolutely love it. And the chorus is awesome. It sort of does a halftime. I'm sort of a sucker for that in terms of songwriting, and I just think that's a really great way to sort of interact with your dynamics, and it really makes your song very enjoyable. So I absolutely love Whiplash. Track number 7, Phantom Lord. Weirdly enough, my favorite part of this song is the very intro. Even though it's just a drone, I just think it's the perfect way to sort of begin the song. Then with the sort of marching rhythm, you know, the da, 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 and so on. Though I will never understand when people say Kill 'Em All never had any sort of ballad or clean guitar, because Phantom Lord right in the middle goes into this really nice, beautiful, clean interlude, which sounds awesome. No, there's no actual like whole ballad songs on Kill 'Em All, but that is clean as, and it really sort of takes it down a notch just for a little bit. To me, that was something that really helped the song along. If it wasn't for that, I'd probably look at it the same way I looked at Motor Breath, just kind of just like, almost like, I wouldn't say filler because I don't want to get shot by Metallica fans, even though I am one myself. Again, it doesn't jump out to me like the other ones, like Whiplash, like the Four Horsemen. My favorite part, again, being probably the interlude and the drone in the intro, because it just sets the tone for the song. That's what I think about Phantom Lord. Track number 8, No Remorse. Again, I kind of feel a little bit indifferent to this one. My favorite part though being the solo that comes right after the intro. So it's just like they're not wasting any time at all. But I do feel like the song does drag on a little bit. And again, when I am listening to the album in its entirety, I tune out just a little bit when No Remorse comes on. Nothing wrong with the song, it just doesn't jump out like the other ones. Although, again, it is an enjoyable song, I would have preferred a little bit more diversity throughout the rest of the song. But, you know, whatever. No Remorse is cool, I guess. Track number 9, Seek and Destroy. Man, what an iconic song. I dig this song completely. I love the way they play it live. I love the middle when it just goes bonkers fast. And that's when the solo comes in. I love how it's kind of like a call and response, you know, search it and seek and destroy. I love all that. I try not to listen to it too much though, because I will get sick of the song. But if you just listen to it for what it is, it's a great song. It goes a little bit long, but you know, that's metal for you. You know, if you're into sort of those long songs, go listen to Dream Theater or whatever. But you know, this is really cool. I like Seek and Destroy. And when I saw them live in 2010, I absolutely loved it when they finished and all the beach balls came from the roof, and I'm like, that's sort of what the song reminds me of. It really was amazing. So, Seek and Destroy gets 2 thumbs up from me. Final track, number 10, Metal Militia. This is, again, probably one of my favorite songs on the album. I love it so much. I love how screamy James Hetfield's vocals are in the verse, even in the chorus. I love the intro riff, how it starts on the tritone and then goes down, you know, to the tonic and just goes bonkers. I love this song very much. It's just so explosive, so heavy, so fast. Perfect way to finish the album, kind of the same way they've begun it. So, Metal Militia, if I had a third thumb, it would get that too. So, I love Metal Militia. My overall rating for Metallica's Kill 'Em All, I would give an 8 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If there is any album you want me to review, feel free to put it in the comments and I'll do my best to listen to it and give a review. Thanks guys for watching. See you in the next video.